hope you are doing so well. It's nice to see you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Yzobel, and I am the host of the Up and About podcast. And in our community, we talk all things mindset, wellness, and self-love for the ambitious woman. So if that's your vibe, come stick around and join our community. Life has been crazy since I turned 27. I say this all the time, but I can't believe that we're in May now. It's been a whole month since I've talked to you guys. The last time I saw you in the background, I had all these amazing birthday flowers. And just to recap, March was insane. Every single week, I had a birthday celebration. It was incredible, and it was also the first time that I planned a lot of activities and celebrations for my birthday. You all probably saw the recap on Instagram. I really had the best time. There were so many core memories I made with my best friends, with my boyfriend, with my family, and it was really iconic. Like, my childhood best friends were there, my adult friends were there, my man was there, and also my family was there. So it was the first time everybody important in my life made it and connected. And I was really excited about that because there are not really a lot of events where your big community comes together. It taught me so much about the importance of relationships. It really validated the fact that I want to prioritize and nurture my community, have more get-togethers, have more little events like that. And it was so much fun. April was more of a continuation of that high energy, of more gatherings, of play, of celebration. And if you're a Vancouver girly in the downtown area and you're also craving the sense of community and new friendships and nurturing your life outside of your ambitions and your career goals, girl, hit me up on Instagram at Yzobel or even at our community podcast at Up About Podcast, and let me know if you're interested in participating in a community event or coming together with our community in person and really just connecting, because in Vancouver, when the sun is out, it is really just so beautiful and the best time to go to a park or a beach and have a picnic. It'll be so much fun. I would love to meet you all in person and just have a really intimate heart-to-heart gathering where we can just talk about life, relationships, love, career. Think of it as like this podcast, but in real life. If you're interested in that, let me know, because I would love to host something and overall build this community in person and get to know all of you. So this May, Josh, my long-term boyfriend, and I are turning 7. It is going to be our 7-year anniversary together. And looking back at the past 7 years, it, first of all, flew by so fast. I can't even believe that I met him when I was 20 and I'm 27 now. And second of all, we've both grown into completely different people over the years, both individually and together. I've learned so much over the past 7 years of what it means to be an amazing partner, becoming the best version of myself, receiving and giving love, building a life together, creating a home, evolving, entering different life stages together. There are so many amazing things that are romanticized being in a long-term relationship, and there are also a lot of challenges being in a long-term relationship. And in this episode, I wanted to talk about navigating the reality of being in a long-term relationship, going through stages of your relationship that is more challenging, doing the inner work and learning how to communicate better, balancing your feminine and masculine energy. And especially if you are a ambitious, career-driven woman, you know that it does get challenging to balance your relationship and being a soft girl and a feminine woman when you have a lot of masculine energy and drive to get things done, especially if you are a business owner. There is so much that I can talk about this topic, and I'll probably have one of my best friends hop on here with me to talk about her journey and her experience navigating long-term relationship, especially in different life stages as well. I definitely want to validate you and acknowledge that no relationship is perfect, and every single relationship requires a lot of learning, open-mindedness, and the willingness to adapt and evolve. You know, when I was younger, I always saw marriage to be incredibly romanticized, as in, oh yeah, you know, Cinderella Cinderella has her man, Sleeping Beauty has her man. That's where the story ends. You've won. That's it. That's all you have to do. Once you get into a relationship, that's it. You just have to be yourself. You fall in love, and that love just magically stays there and grows with you. And that is the end all be all. There is no work involved. You're just in love. The end. Happy ending. That is literally further from the truth. That is really where the work starts, especially if you are with a man that really holds you accountable, that has really high standards, especially for you, that really believes in you, that has really big goals, cares about you, wants the best for you, has high integrity, just a man that is overall amazing. You will find your own beliefs to be challenged, and a good partner will challenge you to become the best version of yourself, and that requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of awareness of your own weaknesses and how to work on them to be a better woman, to be a better partner. I always say that relationships, no matter what kind of relationships they are really just a mirror. It shows you what you need to work on, who you need to be. It shows you your desires, the way you love, the way you receive love. It pinpoints very specific aspects of your personality, your behavior, your intentions, your goals. And the beauty about relationships is it really does make you realize who you are, who you have the potential to be, and the work that you need to do to get there. I would really say that that's one of the best parts about being in a long-term relationship, is that you can have a variety of different types of this relationship with the same person. The same way that you have a different version and reality with different versions of yourself at the same age. Same person, different relationship, different growth, different version. Long-term relationships take a lot of work and they evolve over time. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago. So same with your partner. And typically a lot of that evolution has a lot of resistance. That idea of iron sharpens iron. The relationship is a third party in this space that you have between you and your partner. And so it is normal to have conflict in the relationship. It is normal to disagree. There will be a lot of periods of times where you won't be on the same page or where you butt heads. And during those challenging periods of time, those moments really show you the strength of the relationship and how much you both can come together to come as a team and overcome the problems that you're both facing together. It'll always be you and your partner against the problem. Remember that you're always on the same team on this, and that those challenging periods of your relationship really show you the strength and the durability of the relationship, and that is an amazing thing. Let's talk about comparison, especially if you are in a long-term relationship in your mid-20s to late 20s. You will see a lot of couple posts, a lot of pregnancy announcements, a lot of engagement announcements, marriage announcements, and I gotta remind you, girl, that you need to do what works for you and your relationship and not necessarily be influenced about what the other couples your age or in your age range are doing. And trust me, I know it can get so frustrating and annoying, especially when you feel that societal pressure as women get older to get into these long-term relationships and hear the question, when are you getting engaged? When are you getting married? All the time. Like all the time. Asking yourself if you are really truly ready for that is a great place to start. You know, I am 27 and I notice a lot of the couples that are newly getting engaged around me are in their early 30s or around the 29-year-old mark. And personally, my parents, they got married in their mid-30s, so it's okay to get married or engaged later in your relationship, later in your life. I know for myself, I always had this idea when I was younger or having these expectations of, oh, like I'll get engaged when I'm 25 or even 24, married by 25. I think a lot of women can relate to that, but honestly, it just adds a lot of pressure, especially financially and emotionally and mentally in your psyche. So relieve yourself of that pressure. It's okay to get engaged and married later. I really don't believe in going in debt over a wedding. It's really not the best way to start a new life with your partner. And there's really no rush. If that's your partner no matter what. Take your time, do it when you are more ready, emotionally ready, financially ready. Girl, the average wedding is like $60,000, maybe even more. It is so important to discuss your goals, your shared vision, the lifestyle you want, and your future together. We've talked a little bit about how, your relationship will evolve. He will evolve, you will evolve. The relationship changes, and truthfully, in a long-term partnership, treating the partnership as if it's a business partnership is probably one of the most practical and strategic ways to go about making sure that your long-term relationship works and evolves in the right path and the right way. If you really think about it, marriage is a partnership. It's a business partnership. It's a contract. And business partners need to know the direction of the business and set those goals, set those KPIs, plan for the next quarter, plan for the next year. Successful couples and long-term relationships have very strategic planning, and you can do this with your partner. It's a very specific conversation called State of the Union, where you literally audit your relationship. What's working? What's not working? How can we improve this relationship? What are our weaknesses? What are the specific steps and the operations that we can implement in our relationship to get the very specific results that we want? Do we want to go on vacation this year? What about next year? What are the assets that we want to build? What are the big expenses that are coming up next? Where do we want to live? What do we want to experience together? Having a direction of that shared vision, shared life, shared goals. So important, especially because you are building a life together and you want to make sure that you're both on the same page. Ask for guidance. This is huge. Ask relationship guidance and advice from your parents, elderly couples, people in your family whose marriages and relationships you admire and respect and would love to embody. Your elders have amazing advice to give. How to communicate, mindset, especially if you have immigrant parents, they've most likely left their home countries and traveled halfway across the world and built this amazing life together. What did it take to do that? How did they do that? What are their views on raising kids? How did they do that, especially coming from an immigrant household? And did they ever think of having kids that are bicultural? I love gathering insights from my elders, specifically my parents, who have been married now for over 28 years and really just explore the world together with barely any help too. My dad's family is in the Philippines and my mom's family is in California. So we're the only ones here in Canada, and they barely raised me and my little brother without a support system of their own. Those kind of marriages and relationships are just different. Like, that kind of love really inspires me. I think it's so important to have that guidance and that mentorship and that wisdom from your elders, especially if your relationship is in a stage that you haven't experienced yet. They just have so much advice and wisdom for you. Don't be afraid to open up about your challenges. Don't be afraid to get into couples therapy. Couples therapy is actually incredible, especially on a prevention basis. Being able to have these relationship skills, these communication skills, checking in intentionally to see where both of you sit in the relationship. Doing a lot of couples maintenance is just so incredible. I'm Filipino and my man is Black, and so we are in an interracial relationship, which means there are so many aspects of both our cultures that at first we didn't understand. Don't get me wrong, there are so many things that our cultures both have in common, but there was also so much learning to do around both of our histories, our family dynamics, how we were both raised, the beliefs in both of our cultures, and how we can pull very specific behaviors and beliefs that we want to integrate in our relationship to create new traditions, but also to pass on those traditions from both our cultures. Learning how to embrace both, to understand each other better, and doing some of that work in couples therapy is very, very cool because you'll find a lot of people have different definitions of the same word based on their different experiences growing up. And so learning what those definitions mean, how to intentionally bring it into your relationship, and unpack those experiences with different cultural context is incredible. So important, especially to keep you both connected and on the same page. I could not suggest couples therapy more. It's really impacted the way Josh and I are communicating with each other and overall deepens a lot of our connection and love and respect for one another. We also plan on doing premarital counseling, and the difference between couples therapy and premarital counseling or premarital relationship is that in premarital therapy, every single week has a very specific theme to make sure that the couple is ready and on the same page about their marriage and how they envision their marriage together. I highly, highly recommend it. If you are Christian or Catholic, I know that these services are also offered within your church and community, so see if your pastor can give you and your partner that option. A lot of the couples that Josh and I have talked to about their experience with premarital counseling has just been nothing but positive. If anything, it's just really improved their relationship and also just really sets amazing intentions of that next stage of your relationship if you are ready to get married. Both Josh and I are business owners, and so we are both pretty busy, and our schedules don't follow the regular 9 to 5 schedule. For example, there will be days where Josh works 15 hours. Sometimes he'll start his day at 5:30 a.m. and end his day at 10 p.m., which means he is constantly working. My schedule isn't as hectic as it was before. I've really learned how to let go of working so much and so hard, and in this stage of my life, I'm definitely leaning more towards the soft life and taking it easy, relaxing more, and prioritizing my relationship with him and also my family and friends. And the reality of being with a man that's really goal-oriented and career-driven and ambitious is that, especially if he's a freelancer or entrepreneur, is that he'll be working a lot. Very odd hours. And if you're somebody that really values a quality time, something you need to learn is being able to give him his own space, his own time to work and do his thing, especially for men, because following their purpose and leaning into their purpose and embracing their purpose will always be number one, no matter who it is, no matter what it is. And that's really such a beautiful thing. If anything, it really inspires me because that very strong sense of purpose and faith allows him to lead his family and take care of his family, his loved ones. It allows him to inspire his friends and the people that he has responsibilities to, the people that work for him, that work with him. There definitely will be periods of time where one of you guys or both of you guys will be spending more time investment with either within the relationship or on your career. During this period of time, it is so important to check in with each other and ask, at this stage of our relationship, what can I give you? What do you need? How can I meet those needs? What do you need from me? How can I make this experience easier for you? Especially during those periods where maybe your partner is more stressed out than usual, is working more than usual. There will be so many times where one partner is more tired and can only give maybe 15% of themselves into the relationship. But the beautiful part about that is you can cover the other 85%. Honestly, that's just life. Like earlier this year when I lost my grandma, for about 2.5 months, I just laid in bed all day. It was really my first time experiencing grief and depression like that. And I couldn't bring myself to do the everyday chores and responsibilities that I had in the household. You know, like I was really 5% for those 2.5 months. And Josh really stepped in to take over not only his responsibilities, but my responsibilities as well. And that's just the reality and the ebb and flow of life. Like things happen. And he really showed up for me, girl. He was my therapist, my man. He was holding down the house. He was really taking care of me. He was making sure that we were both visiting my family very frequently. It's so amazing experiencing a different side of your partner, especially through loss and tragedy, and seeing how much they show up for you and can carry the weight of your grief, but also can carry you and support you emotionally through a really hard time while really, really holding it down and taking ownership of all the responsibilities is just so beautiful. And I'm so thankful to have him. I don't think I would have recovered or gotten up on my feet or have really become the person that I am today without him. Battling conflicts together is a great topic between long-term relationships and couples and requires a lot of different communication skills. The best way that I learned how to navigate conflict with Josh is through a dialogue called the imago dialogue. And the imago dialogue fosters emotional safety between both partners. And through emotional safety, we learn how to connect and use empathy and compassion to understand each other's perspectives, point of view, to validate and acknowledge that each party can have a different experience over the same situation, and to really, really put ourselves in that partner's shoes. It's a really, really beautiful dialogue that allows the speaker to speak. And by that, what I mean is there's going to be one partner speaking and the other partner will just actively listen. And once that partner is finished speaking, then the other partner will continue to speak while the other partner listens. So instead of having an active dialogue where through a conflict, it's easy for both partners to become defensive and talk at each other without really listening and understanding. Both partners will have their own turn to really talk through their process, their emotions, how it makes them feel. While during this, it allows both partners to really see and understand one another and overall tackle the problem together. And if you look it up, Imago, IMAGO, you'll find the Imago dialogue format. And there are a lot of infographics and articles on this kind of dialogue, but it is really a beautiful way to go through conflict together. Let's talk about maintaining connection and romance in a long-term relationship, because there are periods of time in a long-term relationship where it can feel like both of you guys are just best friends, and that's really the beauty and comfort of having a long-term partner, is that they really are your life partner, your bestie, you know? And sometimes it gets easy to be comfortable and complacent with seeing them every single day, especially if you live together. There are so many ways to keep a partnership exciting and fun and romantic, and I do have a couple of ideas. So the first one is to have a love jar. So what this looks like is both partners will write down activities or experiences or gifts of how they want to receive love from the other partner. And you can do this on little sticky notes, just fold them up. Both partners can have different colors of the sticky notes, put it in a jar, and every single week, both partners will pick up a sticky note of what the other partner wants to receive. So every week is fun because you just know you're going to get a little exciting gift that'll make you feel loved and appreciated from your partner. You know, it'll allow you to spice things up and just put that extra effort into your relationship. Another exercise that Josh and I do is, on top of that, to tell each other that we appreciate each other. We used to do this every single day. Along the lines, they could get repetitive, but now we do it every single week. Just being able to sit down and truly tell your partner how much you appreciate them and very specific things that they've done that week or that day that you really loved and felt loved and cared for by them. Acknowledging that you see them and their effort and their energy, it just makes you feel so connected and seen and understood. Another thing is, if you live with your man like I do, is to still get dressed up every day. It can get so easy to be really messy around your partner just because you're so comfortable with them that, you know, wearing sweatpants and not doing your hair or your makeup. But I find that it really keeps the spark alive to show your partner that you prioritize them and that you put in a lot of effort and energy for them because you love them. And, you know, your partner should be your number one person. And by all means, you don't have to get dressed up every single day, but especially for men, because they're very visual, They love when you dress up for them. It is one of their love languages, the way that you used to dress up when you used to go on dates together at the beginning of the relationship. It makes them feel so happy and like they are a priority to you. It'll make your man feel very loved. And of course, having those date nights, whether they're every week, even doing a stay-at-home date night where you just order your favorite Uber Eats, light some candles, put on a nice movie, or something more low maintenance and fun and naturey, like going on a walk, going on a picnic. Watching the sunset together is so cute. Just sneaking in that quality time where both you and him can connect and bond is just so important. Remember, it is so important to keep continuously working yourself, even when you are in a long-term relationship. The more personal development you do, the more work that you do on your limiting beliefs, becoming your own dream woman, becoming the best version of yourself, hitting your health goals, hitting your relationship goals, hitting your career goals, nurturing that spirituality, that feminine energy, all these beautiful, amazing sides of you and your personality, the more your relationships and friendships will grow and they will benefit from that. I cannot emphasize the importance of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, journaling your thoughts and your feelings, and really understanding why you are the way you are, your own journey, your own story, continuing to pursue what you're passionate about, even if it has nothing to do with your career, just overall your hobbies, your creativity, doing the things that really fulfill and nurture your soul as a human and as a woman. So important. Even nurturing your amazing group of girlfriends, your female friendships are so precious and important to help you grow and understand yourself better and explore the world with curiosity and excitement. Having that really strong sense of self and identity, both inside your relationship and outside of your relationship, just enriches the relationship so much more. Don't be afraid to make new memories, try new things together, have new activities you want to explore with your partner. There's so much to learn about them, and you are always going to continue dating the man that you're with, even though you've been with him for, like me, 7 years. There's still so much I want to learn about him and explore. And overall, doing life together teaches you so much that you don't know about your human and your person. So don't be afraid to embrace those challenges, especially during more challenging and more rocky parts of your relationship. It'll only make your bond stronger. It'll make your love stronger. And it'll really teach you how capable you are and how far you've come. All right, gals, I hope you have an amazing week and a great start to the May month. I'll definitely catch you next week. Please make sure to let me know your thoughts, and also let me know if you're all interested in meeting up in downtown Vancouver and having a community event. Send me a DM at Yzobel, at Yzobel, or at Up About Podcast. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care and talk soon. Bye.